Hello and welcome back to SYNLAB Podcast. This is episode 3, and we will be talking about silent vision loss. I am still with Dr. Bashorun, our eye specialist, if I may say. She has been very incredible throughout the previous episodes. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow SYNLAB Nigeria on YouTube and on Spotify. Don't forget to leave a comment. Very important. Now, this is where things get serious. Why? Because some of these dangerous eye conditions, they do not start with pain. They can be silent. We mentioned before, you can be having dryness, blurry visions, etc. They do not shout sometimes, but they creep upon you and you may not even know. They start very quietly, and by the time many people notice, damage has already been done. So now we're going to be talking about silent vision loss, especially glaucoma. So, Dr. Bashorun, you will start by helping us explain what glaucoma is. I know you've mentioned it in the previous episodes, and why it is known as the silent thief of sight.
Thank you for having me once again. So, glaucoma is it's a disease that it's actually the commonest cause of irreversible. Once irreversible means that once the damage has been done, it has been done. You can't reverse it.
Wow.
So worldwide is the commonest cause of irreversible blindness, and of course in Nigeria still remains the number one cause of irreversible blindness. And why do they call it a thief of sight? In fact, in Yoruba they call it adakefoju.
Wow.
I mean,
what does that mean?
it just literally means that something that doesn't give you any sign and blinds one,
Wow.
just like a silent thief. And why the name really? Because it doesn't give signs. Glaucoma does not give signs. It doesn't give symptoms, because signs are the things that we pick. So for the person, you don't see anything. What you are looking at, you are seeing it. Usually, people just focus on what they are looking at. Really, people don't care about what is happening that you're not looking at in your periphery. Okay, so once a lot of people look, they want to pick something, they see it. They want to look at somebody, they can see it. What else? They feel their eyes are okay. But it gradually takes away the vision from the periphery. So ideally, once you are seeing something at about 180 degrees from where you are, you should be able to see the things. So what it does is that it takes that vision, it gradually cones it down. So by the time the person is realizing that, oh, I'm not seeing well, the damage is far gone.
Wow.
So that's why it's called a silent thief of night. By the time you start having symptoms, you start having, okay, maybe my vision is blurry, it's getting dim, the disease has gone far. So that's why it's called a silent thief of sight.
Wow. So who is most at risk of glaucoma and other silent conditions? Also, can it be passed? Is it like a genetic thing? So let's say someone's dad has it. Are the children at risk of getting it?
Okay, so going back to your first question, who can have it? Everybody and anybody. So the fact that we are blacks,
my chest,
we are from the black origin. We are more predisposed to having it than any other, than the Caucasians and other people. So the fact that you're a black person, you are high risk. Okay, then usually, okay, let me just say that there are different kinds of glaucoma. It can affect children. That's the one we called congenital glaucoma.
Wow.
Then usually there's also the developmental one, those ones that are about 3 years of age till early adulthood. Then there's another one that is common in people above 40. Okay, so I would say anybody can have it. Yes, so the fact that you're black, then for people that have some kind of refractive error. What I mean by refractive error is that some people that wear glasses, people that can't see things that are far, they are also more predisposed to having it than the general population. So glaucoma, anybody can have it. Then going back to your second question, saying that can it be passed? Yes, It can be hereditary.
Wow.
It can be hereditary. So usually what we advise is that when a parent has it or a parent has it, it's advisable for the children to have their eyes checked. So usually once I see someone that has it, I ask, you have to have your siblings screened. Okay, did your parents, a lot of people just believe that when you are old, your vision must be poor. So it's not.
Does he align?
No,
most
it's
times?
not. It's not.
Wow.
It's usually something. And I see a lot of people that even in their 90s they see. Some people may have cataract, they have it operated, and they are seeing. So that myth of because you are old, then your vision must be poor is not it at all. I don't know where it's coming from, and we have to debunk it.
Yeah.
So people. So usually, a lot of the times it may be glaucoma.
Okay.
And people don't know.
Okay.
And they carry it on, and maybe by the time they are in their 70s or 80s, they're already blind. And it could also depending, some young people too, especially when they have the aggressive type, they get blind at that age. I've seen a lot of people, because it doesn't give any symptom. So it is very, very important to have siblings. Once somebody has it in the family, everybody should just have their eyes checked. That is the standard.
Wow.
Or that should be the standard.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it's like that.
Okay. So permit me to digress a bit. So coming to our grandmothers in the village, those that cook with firewood, what effect, or does the smoke from the firewood have any effect to the eyes?
Yeah, definitely. Not glaucoma though.
Okay.
Yeah. Glaucoma is, I've already said some of the things that predispose to it.
Yes.
But there's a disease of the eye called pterygium. Yeah, it's usually caused by UV rays, like the sunlight. People, usually it's in hot climates like this, people have it. But particularly people that cook, that are exposed to heat, they use those, you have more of it. But it's beyond that, because there are some people that are also exposed to those kind of things that won't have it. Some have some genetic predispositions to it.
People,
so there are some people, you can have two people now. They are both doing firewood or both caterers and things like that, and you have one come down with it and the other one doesn't come down with it. So generally, there are certain, apart from the exposure, there are also things in the body genetically that predispose to it. So when you have two things coming together, you now have it manifesting. So that's it.
Okay. I'm curious to know, why is it that a lot of patients only realize the glaucoma, that they may be coming down with glaucoma when it's already advanced?
So could you take that again?
So I'm saying, why do people only realize when the glaucoma is advanced, in the advanced stage?
Because it doesn't give any sign. It doesn't give any symptom, rather. They don't know. It's only when, because when we go to the hospital to check, when the doctor would look at the back of the eye, see some things that are, suspicion that, this person may have glaucoma, and then ask you to do more tests. So those tests will check for those peripheral vision, we test for everything. So that's the way we get to know that, this person has glaucoma, and you start medication or whatever treatment that you've chosen based on what we feel that you may be able to comply with.
Okay.
So if you don't have any symptoms and you don't go to the hospital, how will you know? There's no how.
So the long and short of it is, every year, just carry your eye to the hospital.
Yes. More so if you have someone that has been blind in the family.
Wow.
Yes.
You should even do more than 1 year.
No, the doctor will now advise you based on what they see. Some, they will tell you, these are suspicious, but you don't have glaucoma. Come every 6 months. Some, they will even say come every 2 years. No, they would be able to advise.
But you have to first take that step.
Yes, to go to the hospital. That's very important.
Okay. So could you share with us some of these tests that can help detect these conditions early?
So when you go to the hospital, the doctor will prescribe tests based on what they feel you'll be able to perform, because not all people will be able to perform some of these tests.
Okay.
You know, some children can do some things, some very frail people can do some things. So
Yes.
they will be able to advise. But usually there's the visual field test to know the extent of the vision.
Okay.
There's also the visual acuity to know how much of vision objectively you have. Okay, there's also the test there are other tests, optical coherence tomography. Those ones are high technical
It's
things. I
very,
want
very
to,
big.
I want to make it basic. So usually the field of vision, you know, how much of vision you can see, you know, how much vision you can see apart from the field, you know, point to point, point. Then some other tests they do based on what you need or what you can do. And from there, those tests, they make a diagnosis to say whether, you are high risk or you already have it, you know, and you can now, because once you know a problem, once you identify a problem, that's when you look for solution. But once the problem is not identified, then you don't think you have the problem and you don't look for solution.
True.
So, but once you take that step, go to the hospital, have your eyes checked, then you can now know whether, I'm free, hallelujah. Or, you know, and for those that have it, it's really not a death sentence, or because, you know, people have different things and they manage. You know, and usually
they manage.
Yes, they manage it. I mean, it's for I know of people that have had hypertension for a very long time. And I keep telling them it's not most likely not like this hypertension that will kill you, because you have taken care of it. You've been able to manage to extent that it doesn't escalate. And just like I say, glaucoma, if you have it, you may not necessarily go blind. If you do what you're supposed to do. But if you have it and you don't know, then you will go blind. Or if you have it and you don't do what you're supposed to do, then you likely go blind. But if glaucoma doesn't equal to blindness. It just
glaucoma
means
without actions.
Yes, I like that, my sister. So that's it, really.
Wow. Dr. Bashorun, you've done justice to this episode. Like, this is one of the episodes that would actually make you pause and think, because you don't want to discover a problem late when it comes to your vision. So we have come to the end of this particular episode. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow SYNLAB Nigeria on YouTube and on Spotify. Please stay with us and we'll be right back.